All right, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Hey Guys. So if you recall from our last episode, we were going over some extrudes, and this is the extrude that we made. This kind of funny trapezoid three-dimensional shape. So I want to show you that you don't even need to have a sketch to start an extrude. All we need is something to extrude, some shape or form. All right, so let's go ahead and get into that. So this is what I mean. So remember when we clicked on the extrude button, which is all the way up here, what we did last time was we did a new. So let's move on down the line. Let's go to add. So if we go to add, what we're doing is we're going to add to this part. Now we can either do a sketch and add that sketch, that part that we're extruding, adding it to the first one. Let me close this out. We'll do a quick sketch. Now, remember, before we sketched on the planes. Now, when we sketch, we can sketch right on any flat surface. So as long as the surface is flat, we can sketch on it. So let's have some fun. Let's sketch on this face right here. I hit the N key, because see, now notice that I'm looking straight on this side. And let's sketch another rectangle. So I'm just going to grab a rectangle like this. We'll stretch that out. Let's go 30. Remember, we can just start typing. Hit the Enter key, and we'll go 20 tall. And that looks good. Now notice that it's still blue. That's because I don't have any dimensions that are locating it. So let's locate it to something. All right, we'll go... Let's say that's 10. Move that a little bit closer. And let's go here. We're just going to have to go with whatever it tells us. And we're going to have to go OK. And now it's black. All right. So remember, guys, you always want to have your sketch turn black. All right. So last time we just jumped straight to extrude. So what happens if you hit the green check on the sketch? Well, the sketch is still there. And here's still the extrude button. So now I'm going to go down here, and now I'm going to grab that sketch that I just made, basic sketch number 3, and I'm going to make it an add. Now, most of the time, Onshape is going to know that you want it to be an add. But every once in a while, if you're not careful, it'll go over to a new. Notice that I have 2 parts down here. It already shows up as 2 parts, even though I haven't done any, I haven't finished the extrude. If you notice that happening and you don't want 2 parts, make sure you come back up here, change it to an add. All right, so all the same things apply as before, but now that we're in an add, we have the opportunity to add what we're adding it to. So if this doesn't show up automatically, generally, I would just check the merge with all. Otherwise, if this is blank, there's nothing in there, you can just come over here and click on part 1 and it'll add it to part 1. I'm just going to leave it at 25 millimeters and we're going to check that off. All right, so now I've got this little protrusion here. All right, looks good. Now what if we need to make like a hole down through the middle of this? Maybe this top has to go all the way through and this is all hollow. How do we do that? Well, we're going to go to extrude again. This time we're going to click on this face and we don't want to add, but notice that I could just make that extend out. But now we're going to do a remove. So when we do remove, we have a lot of options. So you can see that we're starting to make a hole through it. Now blind may not be the best choice. Maybe we want to go up to next. So up to next in this case is going to be the next thing that it meets. That's going to be the bottom. There could be something else in the way that it would stop at. Maybe we went up to face. Then we have to tell it, well, which face do we want to go up to? So again, we could select the bottom and it would go all the way through. If we click on up to part, well, that doesn't really apply. There's only one part. But if we had more than one part in our field, that would make sense. And then up to vertex. What does up to vertex mean? So vertex means we want it to go up to a point. So maybe we want that vertex or this vertex right here. That would take it halfway through. So a vertex is any place where a couple of lines come together and make a corner. And then the last is through all. Now you want to be careful with through all, because if I had some other component over here or an extension of this part, it would go all the way through that too. It would jump through space, but in this case, through all makes sense. Then if there's, for any reason, I make this larger somehow, that hole will still go all the way through it. Remember when we talked about design intent before? So this is, again, a design intent situation. So we have our remove. We have it through the whole thing. That way, if we ever change the size of this, we always know we want that hole going all the way through. Everything looks good. We're going to hit the check, and that's it. All right, thanks, guys. We'll have more on this in the next episode.